Hi everybody, I'm Steve Scott and welcome to another episode of Judo Analysis. Well, in today's show, I'm going to pick apart Tani Otoshi, the Valley Drop. It's a very old name to a technique that still has great modern day applications. It's used in all fighting sports and it comes from old Jiu-Jitsu into Judo. You see it Sambo, MMA, submission grappling. It's in every fighting sport. Now, Tani Otoshi is one of the Sutemi Waza of Judo, the sacrifice techniques of Judo, and it is similar to some other Sutemi Waza or sacrifice techniques. And basically, it's the direction where you throw your opponent. Okay, this really marks what Tani Otoshi is. Tani Otoshi is basically getting behind your opponent, splitting your legs apart, and throwing him to his backside. It is similar to an uki waza, which is it's pretty much the same thing. You split your legs wide and throw him over to his right front or directly to his front side, and he rolls over your leg. That's uki waza. And yoko otoshi is side drop, and it's pretty much a Tani Otoshi, but done directly lateral or to the side of your opponent. He falls directly to his side. There are a lot of Sutemi Waza in Judo, and of course in other combat sports as well, such as Sambo. But Tani Otoshi is one of the most often used, and there are so many applications, so many variations, and we're going to hit quite a few of them in this series of videos you're going to be seeing here on this show. So stay tuned. It is a pretty complete look, but not a complete look at Tani Otoshi. Derek, in this case, is going to get his right hand on the back and see how all of a sudden, look how he drives his elbow in, okay, as he comes around the side. Now look at this. Everything's here except the tight waist. It's the only thing we're not doing. So I want you to work on both of these tonight, okay? So Derek's going to get your grip. Okay. See that? See that elbow drive down? That's essential. Don't let that elbow float because he's got to trap that. Okay, one more time. So he comes in, he traps it. See how low it is? Look, he's done everything here. He's trapped the arm and the gut, the head and the shoulder, on the pec. See sideways, he's squatted low. He's just going to shoot back, wham, right on top. Just do it without me blabbing on it. Okay. All right, now watch the movement. Grab. Okay. That's a very aggressive way to do Tani Otoshi. So if you're grabbing, you're fighting, he just comes out and grabs and shoots, wham, right there. It's a great transition. You don't slam him for your opponent or a front point or you pin him. You're right to a pinning technique. Don't get super fancy. Stick him. Okay. One more time. So he grips him, comes out, shoots, right on there. So now we worked on the basics of the move. Now let's work on setting them up to get the grip and what you have to do with your body movement to get into position and actually throw them cleanly. So before, while Steve's here and has his hand free grip, hands up like you're fighting. Okay. Now Derek's a lefty, so he's going to be doing lefty side. Okay. So you may need to move him out here, Derek. We'll go there. But what's going to happen? Derek wants to do this. When Derek will come in, he's going to reach. There's the anchor right there. Okay, on the sleeve. All right. Now he's got that anchored. Now that's going to help him move in. And notice when he started, he wasn't directly in front of Steve. He was sugar footing. He's going to be going to the left, so he's leading with his left foot. He's over to his left, over to Steve's right, because he has to have a clear alley here to attack. He's got to have this room to go. Okay. So he's got this, and as he moves to directly in beside Steve, he's going to quickly grab, clamp down. You notice before we clamp down the arm, come over here, Eric, so you can show this here. So when he shifts in, he shifts to the side and clamps down here, heads in the pec. Okay? He lowers his level. As he shoots in, he lowers his level. And he's going to shoot through. So come on out just a little. I'm sorry. I gave him the wrong direction. My fault. Okay, just go ahead and do it without me blabbing. Wham. There you go. Okay? Kind of keep your arm up so you don't elbow when he hits you. Wham. There you go. See how it is? It's an aggressive movement. Now, what we're stressing here, guys, is the throw, yes, but how to get into that throw. The alley you got to create when you're daring, you got to come to the side. And when you come to that side, you're going to lower your level. And notice how you do the classic Tani Otoshi. So let's look at that. Get to the side. This is important. How you start your throw is really important, everybody. So I want to be in position to start the throw immediately. So So he does it over here to the side and the wrist. So when he grips up, he's going to see how he's there. Now when he starts to shoot in, he drops, lowers his level, he's ready to go. Wham. You gotta create that alleyway, that space to go. You get under him. You notice he didn't bend over, he lowered his levels with his legs to shoot. We got that? So it's really an aggressive Tani Otoshi. So like if you're gripping, you know, like in Sambo, the referee blows his whistle, you're just ready to start. The Judo referee says Hajime, whatever, you grab and you go. So let's say I say Hajime, grab and go. Go. Slam, quick, man. Slam down, thank you, man. It's a transition right to the ground, isn't it? So I give my points to the throw, and go right to the right to a hold. Setting up right to a pin. Let's finish with that, then we'll
and everybody in the world is taller than me, so they're all pleased about it, so they normally get a high grip on me. And so what I want to do, and I always told my kid, the second somebody has two hands on you, you better attack. You know, preferably before. So what I want to do, so the second he gets that grip, I'm going to grab him here, will literally use my head, slam it into and I'm on a pen when we hit the mat. So I might switch to a better pen, but even if you don't like me, this is a pin. And then I can switch, you can try and get away, but the clock's rolling and I'm winning. So I try to literally hit the mat in a pin. And I try that for just about every throw that I do. So what I try to get people to do is the second that person touches you, now is when you go. And you pin. And then you can switch to another. So try that. You want to literally go into the pin. When you hit the mat, and you might want to use crash pads, when you hit the mat, you should be pinning them. And you know, a stupid thing people do all the time is they move their hand because that might hurt. You know, because he's on top of you. Well, so what? He's on you, and his body's on you, so he's literally holding himself into that pin. If your hand's under him, don't move it. You know, and if he moves off of it, then you can move your hand and go to a different pin. So that's it.
Well, one question, Anne-Marie, so your right hand is really tight-waisted around his waist. You've had your right hand, you're socking him in tight.
Yeah.
And then when you shoot, it's your hips go.
I actually hit him with my head, because if you think about it, you know, your head weighs good 5 pounds, 10 pounds, maybe if you're smart, right? So it's kind of like if somebody's standing, you threw a bowling ball into their chest at the same time you're dragging them down, it would help. So I literally hit him with my head, and then come around. Use one's head. That is not a metaphor.
It was
look at a variation of Tani Otoshi. It's kind of Ippon Seoi-nage and Tani Otoshi together. Some people might call this actually Waki Otoshi, armpit drop. It's sometimes called that. So let's just take a look at this. Derek, why don't you come in the first? Do the Tani Otoshi where you slide behind it. Go ahead and start. That's it. And it's a real good Tani Otoshi. It's a slick one. He doesn't expect Tani Otoshi from here. You're coming with an attack on an Ippon Seoi-nage grip. So let's look at this real quick. Let's parse it out. So now when he starts this, here's the start of it. If he were doing Seoi-nage, he'd be closer more into here, wouldn't he? Because he wants to get his hip in position and all that. He wants to do this Tani Otoshi, or Waki Otoshi, depends on what you want to call it. So he's going to start his opening stance. See that right foot? His left foot. See that? There's this position right there to start. Now he's got a standard grip, you know, and with his right hand, he's going to swing across like an Ippon Seoi-nage. He might come a little shallow, but he's underhooking here pretty good. He's just getting that. So what Eric may do, he's not going to do it now, but he may do a hip cut to block, which would make it even better for Derek to throw it. But right now we're just going to do the standard throw. So he's locked in there. Now when Derek comes around, he spins out and he shoots behind him with a Tani Otoshi. And he drives into him. Now when he drives into him, he doesn't fall on his back. He keeps turning in, looking at his opponent, and he drives him in. So what he's doing, he's using his back and his arm here, and his body here, to come in and toss him, turn. So you got to turn, and that way, also the referee, if you're doing this in a competitive situation, the referee knows who, the referee knows he threw him.
What I'm going to show, basically, is going to have a big Sambo influence on it, all right? So, he grabs me here. Now, nowadays, in IJF jacket wrestling, you won't be able to, this is against the rules now, using 2-on-1. However, we're going to employ it right now. There is some, I'm not necessarily breaking his grip. Basically, what I'm doing, my top hand, my thumb's going back towards me. On my bottom hand, my thumb's going at my opponent. Okay? So all I'm going to do here, I'm just going to go elbow in, high, like this. So I've got him loaded up here. Now we're going to have two throws from here. The one, all I'm going to do is basically a Tani Otoshi. So I'm going to tuck your head, okay? So all I'm going to do here is step. Okay? Make sure to land on your side. Don't land on your back and leave the decision to the referee. Make sure you want to land in this position. And if we're still here, even if he doesn't call it, I've got a fight in my hands because he's coming at me, okay? But if I'm here, I've got the advantage. I can go to Queso, or I can go to Murigatame or Yokoshika, okay? So, we're just going to take this step by step. My opponent's here. So I don't think it's really a grip break, because I'm not intentionally breaking his grip, but you've got to be careful with refs. So I'm here, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to step in, and at the same time, my elbow's going high and under his armpit, right there. So I'm going to load him a little bit, all right? Then you may have to adjust a little, and then I'm just going to slide for a time. To there. Okay? We got any questions? Okay, pair off and try that. Okay, protect your head when you get thrown. Don't let your head be a speed bag on the mat. And then
Look at the basic, Kuchiki Dashi, just do a basic with no leg action, just go leg right. Okay, there you go, pretty much it. Remember, you can go to the side, you want to follow through, but he was being nice. Let's add just a little more, fuel to the fire. When he comes in here, when he slides in, notice how this leg is nice there, in a perfect position. He can wrap that around like a Tani Otoshi and just wrap it through and add a little more oomph to it. Mac, you were doing that before. Yeah. And this really adds a bigger pop to the throw. So watch when he comes to it again. And it really adds to it. So what do you call it? Well, just call it a pawn, right? But remember, that's kind of a combination of the dead tree drop, or the Cuban leg grab, or single leg grab, and a Tani Otoshi. Whoops, well, it's close. But do you see that? That's one of the most available things we can do. Look at it one more time. everything was the same. Did you see he still grab the leg with his right hand? Watch when he does this. Come on here, just don't pull. When he's actually coming into it, his leg still grabs the inside here. He's just going to add that thigh, that Tani Otoshi action in here. There you go. Okay? So he's going to add that to it. You can also do thigh sweeps and other cool stuff. You want to do a thigh sweep? You ready for it? Okay. Now watch when he comes in. Here we go. See how you lift? You catch one or both legs. You get a little more Sambo effect because we like the leg lifts. And so you can see how deep he came in. So you can modify this any way you want, but the base movement is the dead tree drop, the Kuchiki Daoshi, or what we used to call the Ashidori. Okay? So do the Ashidori, the standard, without the legs right now. Just the standard again. There's the standard way, right? Okay? Now, let's add the Tani Otoshi to it. Let's add the leg. You notice how when he drove it, he pointed his toe, shot behind both legs. Okay? You may catch one leg, catch both. Try to catch both. That way you're definitely going for the big gusto. You may just catch, if you go for both, you only catch one, you still throw them.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's like we used to call this the octopus method of throwing somebody. Control this shoulder, control that hip, take out the other leg. You know.
Turn around sideways here. So yeah. So now don't kill the guy. But when you come in, watch this angle when he does this, as with the Tani Otoshi. So when he comes in like that, and when he sweeps, do it kind of speed. Now watch how he does the full sweep. Finish up, and you see it. That's a big bomb in that. That's a biggie palm. Now again, that's not IJF legal for the International Judo Federation. You guys are competing in those tournaments. In Sambo, freestyle judo, AAU judo, that's all legal.
Yeah.
In BJJ, anything that you might do that's outside of the confines of the International Judo Federation rules.
Remember when the leg's coming through, like with all your normal Tani Otoshis, I'm not trying to hook the guy. I'm trying to sweep that leg through. Like Coach was saying, you point your toe and you try and move it out at about 45 degrees back. Okay? Don't worry about hooking and bringing it all the way back like this. You'll miss.
Yeah, don't hook your leg. Don't do a leg hook like a Kosotogaki.
We come
Sweep.
in here, lift the guy up. He's got one leg left. This one sweeps out, and you try and land on your hip.
Yeah, that's a really good illustration there, everybody. If you try to hook, you may lead with your knee, your leg, and he'll counter you with like an Uchimata or something to counter you. Don't let him do that. Right?
It's an all or nothing type of move.
We good? Let's give it a try. We're good.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, what he was doing earlier was like kicking out of the throw. Like he was in midair and he was just, no! Is that what that was?
And again, you're facing my chest.
Crunching with his body. He's putting his head right there. He's totally blocking everything here. And he lowers his level when he does that. Bam. Lowers it very low. This is really tied up here. Okay? Now, he's going to add more to it when he grabs around the waist here. And then when he adds that thigh sweep and then a leg, bam. Shoot that leg behind. And again, point that toe all the way through. You see him do it? Okay, come on out a little bit so he's got room to do it. Watch how he comes in. See that? Now, that's a high percentage move. That's the type of a sacrifice move, or Sutemi Waza sacrifice technique, that gives you a high percentage of good odds for you. And that's what we want. Okay? So let's look at the very first one without the leg sweep, without the Tani Otoshi. Grab around the waist. See how because he does a lot of Sambo. He's using the hip in there. You don't have to use that much hip, but I recommend it because it adds a big boom to the throw, because he's taking a lot of starch out of his opponent. Okay, did everybody see that one? Now let's do the Tani Otoshi version when you come in like that. Okay? Both really good high percentage moves. We like it. And we started with the Kuchiki Taoshi, or Daoshi, and we ended up with these. See how they kind of blend together after a while.
Kelvin nicely will be working what we call the switch, and basically it's a fake to Uchimata or a forward throw, and you switch them to the rear with a thigh sweep or a Tani Otoshi, but in any event you are throwing him onto his back. So Kelvin, go ahead and take it away.
All right, I want to get him to really hip block me hard, so I'm really going to go for my Uchimata, like I'm going to actually try to throw it, give hip block, back. Make sure you lower your level. Change the level.
Lower your level. So you want, when you come in, you're faking that forward attack. Do it slowly. See how he blocked? He shot in front.
Thigh sweep or Tani Otoshi side.
And you use your hip quite a bit. Now, you're going to do it from that same angle. I'm going to come around behind you when you do it again this next time. But it is important that you do drop your level underneath your hips under him. So hold on a second, Kelvin. I'm going to come around behind you here. And we're going to,
Getting this nice and tight, right?
sorry for the bad camera work, everybody, but okay, there we go. Okay, Kelvin, go ahead.
And then turn your hips down, get chest to chest.
And notice how his head drove into him. Can you do it one more time on TJ? It was a very willing uke for you. Thank you, TJ, by the way. All right, so he fakes with his left Uchimata. We get a hip reaction, and notice the chest to chest all the way down. And we just call that the switch. Some people call it Kosotogari, Kosoto. Some people call it Tani Otoshi. Can you do it where you do it like a Tani Otoshi where you extend your leg? Sure. The other side. So you fake forward, and there you go as a Tani Otoshi. Valley drop. So one more time the way you like to do it, because we used to use that hip quite a bit, and that thigh sweep, and this will be the last time. There we have it, a forward, and very nice hip sweep action. And we just call it the switch. Thanks a lot, Kel.
Block, and this isn't a beautiful thing or anything. I'm here, right down on the mat, cover the guy for hold down. Okay? Got it? Do it again. Do it again. Okay. You hip block me and I'll get you on there. Okay, so here. Straight to the throat, or to the hold down. All right, let's try. So, without slamming your opponent, just switch. Go 2 forward throws, 1 rear throw with a switch. I think I'm hitting like Tani Otoshi more. So you can hit Tani Otoshi, you can hit a chair throw. One more time. So just hip block me on 3. Yeah. So, okay, so 1, 2, here comes number 3. Straight down, move into a hold down. All right? Let's do it. Go ahead. And all that. Let's take a look at a few things. Come on out. I want to do a couple things. The fake is extremely important, okay? Because, you know, I've been here like this, and I've come in for Harai Gosh or Uchimata. All right, I've come in a couple times, but I'm getting this hip block from the guy. That's when I want to, the third one or whatever, I want to fake right here. And you notice how I'm turning my head and I'm tugging a little bit? I don't want to off balance him really, I just want to tug a little bit so that he puts his weight back on his heels. I don't want to force movements, I want him to help me, all right? So when I'm here, I'm going to lift this knee up, swing around back, and I bring this leg closer. This leg will slide. Here's the motion. See how I bring my knee up as I fake? And then as I come around back, I slide close. And I pull down with this hand, down. Look where his weight's going. Now, I don't want him to, you're all thinking, oh, he can throw him with Ochigari, or he can throw him with Uchimata. Not if I kill this hand, he can't. Not if I off-balance him here. I'm going to win that exchange. If I don't off-balance him, if my foot's way back here, he can hit Ochigari. He's going for Uchimata. Right here, he could throw me with that. He could do inside trip. Yeah, he can do anything he wants with me because I'm trying to do the splits. I'm in a weak position. So bring this driving leg closer to him. So I've got the fake, and I see how close this leg is? Drive this into his gut. This hand, pull down. And then I don't care if this foot is a Tani Otoshi over here, or if it's kind of a chair throw. I don't care if you're hitting some kind of Kosoto Gake, the hook it. That doesn't so much matter, because the harder he hit blocks any one of those three, it's going to throw him to the ground. He's going to help you to throw him. So the harder he reacts, you know, that off-balancing motion is going to throw him almost by itself. But so that he can't step off of it, you can do Tani Otoshi, you can do like a chair throw, you can hook, Kosoto Gake type movement, take him down. But with two main things, or three, fake, so just a little tuck. So in other words, you've been in a fight, a contest, and your opponent has blocked you. All your forward throws, he's blocked you. You can't throw him. Well, it's kind of crazy to keep trying to throw forward. So you put that in your head. So later in the match, you say, aha, I'm going to do it again. Only you switch on the third one. He thinks it's coming, but you're throwing him the opposite way. And this is where pawns come from. When your opponent hip blocks strongly, I've seen people get knocked out from being slammed so hard with the switch. All right? And the harder he hip blocks, the harder he lands. Makes it a real good technique to gain pawn. Okay.
I'm going to show you my way of doing Tani Otoshi. Might be a little bit different than what you've seen before. And I'm going to use it as a counter because that's how it's normally used. Okay? Tani Otoshi Valley Drop. It's usually used as a counter on a forward throw. So if you turn in for a forward throw, forward, come down. Okay? What happens is you see these guys come around and end up gathering you up. They throw this leg out and they'll try to throw you like real big weight back over here. And all we're really trying to do is throw them down, right? To keep control. But that's how you see a lot of people try to throw Tani Otoshi. Well, first thing that we've got to do when he comes in is have a good hop around so that we get in position. I want to get in position right here beside him, perpendicular to him, and then as I'm coming around, I'm going to control this arm. So I'm going to drop here and I'm going to control this elbow, and all I'm going to do is stick it in his belly. Okay? This hand's either going to grab his shoulder, grab his collar, whatever you can get a hold of, his back of his gi, and if I like throwing my leg right in between his legs and trying to put the back of his head right back here behind his feet. Not great big throwing him across the mat, but throwing him straight down. Okay? So, first thing we've got to do, he comes in, we hop around and we stay close. Trap this arm so that he can't turn in and counter me. It's probably one of the toughest throws to call for a referee, because it gets, people try Tani Otoshi and they end up on their back first and the referee gives it to the other guy. Even though he's initiating this throw, it's a tough throw if you don't control that arm, because they'll turn into you, and if they turn into you, you're going to end up on your back. The way you avoid that is control that arm so he can't turn in. Okay? So he comes in, I come here, trap this arm, grab him here, and then I throw my leg. You can throw it out and catch both legs. I throw it in between as hard as I can, right in between his legs, and then straight down. Okay? Okay. Let's partner up.
Don, can you do that one more time? I want to get a different angle. I want to show that back angle, how you come in between his legs. That's an interesting approach. So you coming around.
Okay, and if he gets slow, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a lot tougher. If he keeps his feet together, he's got a good sewanagi, it's going to be tougher. Maybe you throw your leg out to the side. grab the arm, grab here, this leg, and then straight down. Try to pull his head down behind his heel.
Now that time you caught both his legs and threw him straight back. The time before, your leg was, as you said before, it was between his legs. Goose, can you have your legs a little wider this time? Okay. Because I think that's worth noting, guys.
Okay, here. When I hop around, my hand automatically goes here. To keep him from turning into me, his hand goes here, and then this leg just goes right in between. And all I'm doing is blocking. Okay, you'll throw this leg. Thanks. Okay, he turns in, and what I think, straighten your back up. I think I'm going to throw the back of my leg as far as I can right into the back of his thigh, or into the back of his leg. Okay, my knee's going to come right through here. Okay, I'm going to take this leg out with my leg. This is come in through here. And that's what I'm thinking. When I hop around, hit that arm, I'm going to throw that knee right in the back of his leg. My foot's going to go right up in between his legs. And then straight down.
What a taller guy. Can you do that? Take a good break fall, Eric. All right.
Okay, here. Grab the arm. Here or here. Yeah, okay?
That left hand on his lapel or his collar back there and pulling down is a key factor in that, isn't it? Because you're using that elbow right in the middle of that guy's back, aren't you?
Yeah.
And just slams him down. Okay, let's practice that, guys. Tani Otoshi from hell, huh? There you go. A hand block against the hip, hip block attack, and hop around. Now we're going to hit with a Tani Otoshi, a valley drop. This is a classic counter to any forward throw, and it's quite useful against a Seoi-nage or Koshi-Haruma. Mike's going to come in on a Koshi-Haruma hip wheel on Derek, and as he does, Derek's just going to hop around, but he's not going to hop around real far. He's going to hop around kind of about a 90-degree angle. Now, turn around here so the camera can see. When he's hopped around here, he's been pushing here, he's going to immediately tight waist. Bam, he's going to steal that hip. Now turn around this way. This head is against the shoulder. And he's going to, when he does that, turn him toward your back here. Okay, there you go. And when he shoots his leg, he's going to drop his levels. Bam. Really classic counter. And again, you're blocking the hip, you're hopping around, and you're pulling the trigger on a really, really clean counter. You just clock the guy. You threw him cleanly onto his back or backside, and you're in perfect position to follow through the ground fight. There you go. Okay, come on out here a bit. Now, let's parse that out real quickly. When Mike does come in around the head or anything, he hopped around. Here was a hand block here, okay? This tight waist is here, but this is where people get caught up too. His head also directs where he goes, but now watch, before he does that, he's going to bend his knees and shoot. You've got to lower your levels with your legs. Don't try to bend over and do this. You've got to lower your levels with your legs. So watch him again. Hops around and he shoots. See how he lowered his level? That's really important to lower your level with your legs. Don't just try to bend and try to sweep. You're not in a position to do anything.
You're right. As I have that tight waist, when you reach your foot out, you just try and sit down and turn and look through your opponent. So as long as you do that, you pretty much land pretty well. So we catch the tight waist, bend that knee, and immediately catch and turn.
Yeah, put chest to chest. That's a good point. I feel to say that because you want to make sure the referee knows you through him. Okay, you do one more time, and we'll let you practice this. We'll practice another one. I mean, it's a classic way to hit Tani Otoshi, valley drop. That's a classic example of it, and that's a good way to learn Tani Otoshi. You've never learned it before. Okay, let's practice that, and then we'll do on some other stuff. All right, here we go. Look at a real aggressive Tani Otoshi as a counter grip, as a counter to actually a big, strong, back grip or monster grip that
Eric may have me in. So what we're going to do, Eric's got me in a strong grip. In this case, he's using a left back grip. And I really recommend you get good at both right side and left side on this because you never know which way this guy's going to grip you. So this is a skill that you could do easily ambidextrous. So what I'm going to do, this is the counter to his grip. He's got me, he's beating me at the grip. We're in a Kinkajutsu situation, you know, opposite sides here. And what I want to do, as he's dominating me, I want to make sure I anchor here and stop this. This is where I want to just kind of anchor here and park it here, okay? Now this other hand, what I'm going to do, I'm going to reach around in what we call tight waist. I'm tight waist here, okay? And as I tight waist, as I reach around and snake this around and grab here, then I'm just going to do a slight back step, just a slight one, and I'm going to shoot across, lower my levels, and take him this way. And as I do that, I'm going to be extending my right leg and reaping and taking him down. I'll have Derek demo this here. So let's take a look at it. Let's have him square up here. So he's got the dominant grip here. He's beating Derek at this grip. Derek anchors it here. Okay, that's a good start to, now he might think actually pull this away. He's really concentrating on this one. He's not concentrating on what's going to happen with this hand. So when Derek's going to come around tight waist, now watch what he does. As he does, he's going to slightly come a little bit back step so he can get behind Eric. Now when he does that, he just shoots across quite low and throws it, okay? You might want to come out a little bit so you give yourself a little more room to hook, okay? So let's take a look here. Dominating the grip, okay? Anchors here. See how he's kind of opposite sides here, okay? Now, with the right hand, as soon as he reaches around to tight waist, when he does this, he doesn't grab the belt or the gi so much. He hooks the hip. He hooks that hip. And that really latches on. That's why I call it tight waist. He's holding his waist tightly. He's going to back step slightly. Now watch, he lowers his levels. He's going to shoot directly behind and then throw Derek to the side. So watch how he does it. Throws him that way. Let's key in on how he shifts his body behind him, then the use of Derek's head. Okay, so here he is here. Okay, he's going to come about as soon as he does his back step, he tight waist. Now watch, he's lowering his level all the while. Now as he does that, he's going to shoot his hips behind Eric. And as he does that, he reaches. Okay, let's take a look now at how Derek uses his head in this Tani Otoshi. And what he's going to do, he's going to put his head and use it right here in the pectoral area to drive the watch. So he's being beaten here at the grip. Okay, he anchors here, he steps back. Now look at how he uses his head. He's going to drive with that head, he's going to lower his level, and he's going to shoot. And see, that head is using, as my old coach Rene Pomerol called it, the third arm, okay? Or his bad English, it was the third arm. But nonetheless, it works. So let's go ahead and do it full motion, guys. Do a few more times. When you do this, when you come behind it, you might even, this sweeping, it may be almost a sweeping motion with the foot. Almost like a foot sweep, even with a thigh sweep. But again, the key thing is we're not going to his back, we're going directly to his side. So I'll let Derek come in here, and you can see how he might use his leg to sweep deeply. See that? That literally upended Eric, and that added more control, more force to the throw. There you go. So whether you just reap and prop him, or you actually actively sweep him, both work. It's your preference. It's certainly your preference. What you don't want to do is hook his leg like a Kosotogaki, because that's a weak throw. Okay, there we go. Try that again, just over here. Now watch, you don't want to come in and just reap and catch with that, because Eric could easily counter with, you know, even didn't do it hard, but you could see how an Uchimata can be used as a counter. So what you want to do, that definitely don't hook. So what you want to do is shoot behind them and reap. And again, this is a closest thing we can call is Tani Otoshi. Okay, can you do it one more time with a sweep?
Hi, Tani Otoshi.
So that's just a Tani Otoshi counter to a strong back grip. And again, this is the thing you want to do both right side and left side, because you never know if your guy is a lefty or a righty. And this is a skill you can easily pick up on either side.